Hello, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and subscribers all over the world. I welcome you to this mid-afternoon broadcast of today. Remember, I still remain your one and only Okute Daily Talk from my own corner. I bring to you this truth about the incarceration of Nnamdi Kanu at the DSS dungeon called custody. Nnamdi Kanu awaits court ruling on UK's failure. UK have failed Nigeria. UK have failed the Biafrans, and UK have failed Nnamdi Kanu as being the citizen of a United States of or the United Kingdom, and it have to result in this way, which is really not encouraging. Well, I don't blame them. The more they want to do anything, the more the so-called Fulani cabals increased the number of crude oil they get daily from our land. That is why it seems like their hands are tied, because their development is based on the resources of Africans, most especially Nigerians, which they still colonize even to death. So I am not surprised what is happening in Nnamdi Kanu's case, that a UK citizen, even a while on that travel when he was abducted, kidnapped, and forcefully renditioned back to Nigeria like a common criminal. The only valid documents he have with him is the UK passport. Still at his death, the UK government have not done anything or say anything concerning the Nnamdi Kanu's issue. And the wife have been on many occasions persuading the UK government through their lead counsel or through their lawyer over there, let them do something for the release of the young man who have been in incarceration for over a year plus, 18 good months now. That is a year and 6 months, and the UK government does nothing about it. So, my great people of Biafra, the lovers of freedom and lovers of mankind, please let's go straight into the news of the day. Remember, my platform is where truth is the business we deal on, and where we speak to you the undiluted truth you need to know about things. We don't compromise and we don't paint walls. We go straight into the news and we go straight into the truth of what needs to be done. So please listen attentively while I move to get you the headlines and also get you the more important facts that you need to know about the Zoological Republic of Nigeria. 2023, that's another headline. No need to campaign in Ebonyi. Umahite, Satiku, Obi, and others. So what about APCD? I didn't see where you mentioned the Tunumbu. Hey, that is why that zoo country called Nigeria can never be good. Not now, not ever. Appeal court upholds judgment ordering Nigeria police to pay 50 million naira to Charlie Boy. We will look into that news when we come back, or when we come back to know exactly why it have to be so. 2 presidential candidates are planning to sell federal universities, ASU president laments. So it is high time you people know, I know my sheep and my sheep know me. But in this scenario, we don't know our sheep these days, and our sheep don't know us. Those ones we call our sheep are even the one that is biting us and killing us and keeping the whole country into captives for over many decades now. So we don't know who to call our sheep, and they don't know us as well. So please, let's move straight into the news about Nnamdi Kanu and why the UK government don't want to act fast. Nnamdi Kanu awaits court ruling on UK's failure to act on his brazen violent extraordinary rendition from Kenya by Nigerian government for over a year and 6 months now. The detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, is awaiting the ruling of the British High Court on the suit challenging the United Kingdom's government for not defending its citizens against the Nigerian government. Kanu's legal team stated this in a statement issued on Wednesday by John Harford, head of public law and human rights in the Blackstone Chambers. According to the statement obtained by the Sahara reporters, the hearing in the Judiciary Review challenge against the Foreign Secretary brought on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu took place on Tuesday. That is when they started the proceedings. Mr. Kanu, the statement stated, is the British national leader of the IPOB, a group that calls for self-determination for Biafra land and Biafra liberation. It noted that in June of 2021, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, was abducted from the airport in Nairobi, Kenya, by Nigerian Security Service and was detained and tortured for around 10 days in Kenya. He was then flown blindfolded on a private plane to Nigeria. For the past 18 months, he has been held in solitary confinement in a cell at the Nigerian Intelligence Agency headquarters in Abuja, Nigeria. Mr. Kanu had traveled to Kenya on his British passport, the only travel and valid documents that he holds on the said date. Since his detention in Nigeria, Mr. Kanu's family has been asking the British government to take steps to secure his release on the grounds there was no lawful basis for bringing him to Nigeria, and he was therefore subject to extraordinary rendition. Mr. Kanu's family have also argued that his ongoing detention is arbitrary. That is what the family is saying. Harford stated that the Federal Secretary has to date failed to reach a firm view on whether Mr. Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition. The family's legal team brought the challenge on the basis that reaching a firm view is necessary to unlawfully determine what steps should be taken to assist Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. During the hearing yesterday, being Wednesday, Charlotte KC, acting for Mr. Kanu's brother, Kingsley Kanu, highlighted that Mr. Kanu has been the victim of a brazen and violent extraordinary rendition, he noted. The statement, partly read, Kilroy, noted that this is not the first time that the Nigerian government had tried to harm Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In September of 2017, when he was at his hometown in Abia State, Nigeria, the Nigerian military launched a violent raid on his house, attempting to kill him and end up killing 28 members of the IPOB in the process. He cited a Nigerian court judgment in which the judge described the Nigerian government agents as setting out as pythons to terminate the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. She then outlined the overwhelming evidence that Mr. Kanu has been subject to extraordinary rendition, noting that the Nigerian government itself has admitted in domestic proceedings that it transferred Mr. Kanu to Nigeria without any lawful warrant for arrest nor any extradition process. Moreover, the Nigerian Court of Appeal ruled that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition, a position that the Federal Court of Nigeria subsequently adopted. She explained that given the danger Mr. Kanu faces from a regime that has already made clear its willingness to use brute force to kill or harm him, and since he is a British citizen abducted whilst traveling on a British passport in a third country, it is incumbent on the British government to assist him. But they have adamantly refused and kept mute because of the illicit deal they have signed with Muhammadu Buhari and the Fulani Kabars to make sure that they deal and dehumanize Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB in general. The God we are serving is not sleeping. The Chukwuoke Abiyama is watching, because all will receive their payment in their own coin when the time is right. Kilroy, according to the statement, referred the court to domestic policies that evidence a clear acceptance by the British government that it has a role in protecting its citizens abroad, where there is evidence of a miscarriage of justice and various instances in which the British government has publicly condemned the action of their state or called for the release of its citizens where they have been arbitrarily detained abroad. They will not do that. Just all they do is giving us a security alert in Abuja that there will be a terror attack in the federal capital territory. At the end of the day, they end up evacuating all their citizens from Abuja and warn the future citizens or future UK citizens that want to travel to Nigeria that they should not venture to travel to Abuja and name the state they have to travel on. Meanwhile, their own citizen is languishing in a DSS dungeon called cell for over a year and 6 months now, and they does nothing because of their illicit dealings with the cabals. We are waiting to see the end of UK, and it's going to happen soon. They should just wait to see what happens, since they refused to follow the due process in releasing their own citizens. We're not talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now as a Biafran or IPOB leader. Let's say that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. So the UK now will allow their own citizens to languish in DSS dungeon. It is uncalled for. I never see any country that will do that. Not now, not ever. So my advice to all my brothers and sisters who are out there jumping up and down, I want to legalize, I want to nationalize in UK. You have seen what is happening to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They refuse to do anything. So are they telling me now that the Nigerian government is more stronger than the UK government, which I doubt. They don't even have 1% of strength to stand the UK. But they all kept mute because they keep signing deals. Very soon, UK will take over Nigeria. They have already sold Nigeria to them. I'm just waiting for that to happen very soon. She argued that the evidence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu rendition have been clear and overwhelming for some time. In spite of this, there has been a wholesale failure by the British government to reach a view on whether Mr. Kanu is a victim of extraordinary rendition. She explained that reaching such a view is indisputably necessary. In order to lawfully determine what steps should be taken to assist Mr. Kanu, a proper decision-making process is especially vital, given that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's health is failing in detention, and 18 months have passed since his initial detention. Responding, Sir James Edia, KC, acting on behalf of the Foreign Secretary, according to the statement, said that reaching a firm view on whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was subject to extraordinary rendition was a matter of foreign policy in which the court must be interfere. There was no legal basis for the court to require the Foreign Secretary to reach a view, and that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's challenge was pointless. Following the hearing, the parties are now waiting for the court to provide its ruling. Kanu's brother Kinsley, who brought the challenge, said it is all well known that the Nigerian courts are heavily influenced by the Nigerian government. However, they have been brave enough to take a firm stand and rule that my brother was subject to extraordinary rendition at the hands of the Nigerian government. If the Nigerian courts can do this, it is not clear to me what further evidence the British government needs to reach a firm view. I hope that the UK court will now require Foreign Secretary to reach a firm view. Shirin Maka, one of the solicitors representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Mr. Kanu is a British citizen who has been subject to one of the most serious and egregious breaches of human rights. The government's position in refusing to reach a view on whether he has been subject to extraordinary rendition amounts to a refusal to condemn this breach. If the courts allow the British government to take this position, this sets a deeply troubling and dangerous precedent for any British citizen who might find themselves at risk abroad. Mr. Kanu's family is represented by John Halford and Shirin Maka of Bind Mans LLP, together with Charlotte Eklera KC of Blackstone Chambers and Tatiana Ethel of Dirty Street Chambers. That is the whole world, the people who are in attendance and who have signed for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through the U.S. process of arbitrary, or what do they call it? But the most important thing there is that UK are not prepared to do anything in the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, because if they win, they would have done that since long ago. But notwithstanding, the Lord we are serving, Almighty Chukwuoke Abiyama, the gods of our land, will see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu through. He will not die in prison. And that is what we are praying for on a daily basis. 2 presidential candidates are planning to sell federal universities. ASU chairman cries out. The president of Academic Staff Union of Universities, Professor Emmanuel Osadeke, has alleged that 2 presidential candidates are planning to sell the federal universities in Nigeria. Okute News report that Osadeke disclosed the latest development on Wednesday while speaking in Makurdi during the special congress of ASU in honor of Professor Richard Kimbari, the outgoing vice chancellor of Joseph Sawan Tata University, Makurdi. Just held at the Science Lecture Theatre. The ASU president said 2 presidential candidates whose names are withheld have plans of privatizing the universities or initiating student loans. According to the Tribune, Osadeke said the presidential candidates will soon unveil the agenda to privatize federal universities through public-private partnership (PPP) or settle for the option of student loan with 5% interest. He said, if you don't know, they are planning to sell the universities, federal universities, through public-private partnership. This is being planned by 2 presidential candidates, and the other plan is to initiate student loan at 5% interest. Speaking against Nigerian universities partaking in student loan programs, the ASU president claimed that such a decision is not in the right direction. In his words, in Nigeria, where you have graduates that cannot get a job for several years, and by the time you spend 30 years in the loan, you will run to 40 million naira. After we are done with the federal government, we will come back to the management of funds in our universities, because some of the universities have problem of poor management of funds. As a university, we don't know how money is spent. How many of the universities have budget? The federal government, National Assembly have their budget, but this is not so in some universities. We are going to fight that very soon. That is from the chairman and the president of ASU, Union of Nigeria. Appeal court uphold judgment ordering Nigerian police to pay Charlie Boy the sum of 50 million naira. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has upheld the judgment delivered by the current Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Sehu, ordering the Nigerian Police Force to pay a sum of 50 million naira to Charles Oputa, aka Charlie Boy. Okute News reports that the current dispelled an appeal by the Inspector General of Police and Federal Capital Territory Commissioner contesting Justice Soho's verdict against the police in 2018. It will be recalled that the Charlie Boy and others, under the urges of our Mumu Don't Do, gathered at the Unity Fountain in Abuja on August 8, 2017 to demand the resignation of President Muhammadu Buhari, who was absent from the country for 90 days on the grounds that he traveled to the United Kingdom for medical attention. The police were reported to have dispersed the protesters with tear gas canisters, hot water cannons, and white police dogs. In a suit, FHC Abuja/CS/343/2018 filed on the March 29, 2018 by Charlie Boy's lawyer Inebehe Effiong. The musician narrated how about 100 policemen dispersed protesters, adding the assault was so severe that they collapsed and was rushed to the hospital. Justice Soho on October 22, 2018 held that there was no evidence that miscreants invaded or storm the protest venue, and that the protesters were not violent in any way. Therefore, awarding 50 million naira as exemplary damages against the police for violently disrupting a peaceful protest led by Charlie Boy. However, Okute News understand that the police, through their counsel, O.M. Atoyebi San, filed a notice of appeal on 23 October 2018, asking the Court of Appeal to set aside the judgment. But a three-man panel at the appellate court in a unanimous judgment dismissed the police appeal and affirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court. Justice Jumbo Ofo, who read the late judgment, agreed with Charlie Boy's counsel that the musician had provoked his case with credible, convincing, and unchallenged evidence. The appellate court therefore reaffirmed the judgment of the Federal High Court and instead that the police must pay Charlie Boy the sum of 50 million naira as compensation and damages. The judgment also ordered the police to tender written apologies in 2 national newspapers and also pay the sum of 100,000 naira as the cost of action. Effiong and his colleague, S.M. Oyebe Esquire, commended the Court of Appeal for its decision, which they said would enhance Nigeria's democracy. That is what you all need to know about how Charlie Boy sued the Nigerian police force and he won the case. So let us go straight into the last but not the least of the day, where the Mumu in government house called Dave Umahi in Ebonyi State said no need for any other parties to campaign in his state. He made mention of Atiku, made mention of Obi and others. Who are these others? We are yet to know. So let us go straight into the business, into the news to know exactly who and who are exempted from doing a rally or doing a campaign in Ebonyi State. I think it is high time the Nigerian government look into this, or the INEC look into this. How can the governors come out and say no other party will come to campaign in their own state except the ruling or the party that they belong? This is awkward. And with this kind of mentality, Nigeria is going nowhere. I swear to God, they are going nowhere. They will keep on being in this dungeon as long as all these old fools and never do well, and all these hooligans, all these psychopaths, and all these animals in human clothing, they keep misbehaving simply because they just find a way to see themselves in the government house. The Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi has advised the presidential candidates of opposition parties not to bother to campaign in the southeast state. The governor said that the state will vote massively for the presidential candidate of All Progressive Congress (APC), Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in the 2023 general elections, adding that he will take care of southeast people. Umahi advised Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and other opposition parties should just surrender in Ebonyi State to Tinubu. He asserted that there is nothing the presidential candidate will use to campaign against the APC presidential candidate to get votes of the people. The governor said the ruling party is planning a mega campaign rally in Ebonyi that has never been witnessed in the entire southeast region. Umahi stated this while speaking at the commissioning of the Ebonyi State Governor's Lodge in Abuja on Wednesday. He said, "We will do a rally that has never been witnessed in the entire southeast in Ebonyi State. Any party that comes to Ebonyi and is able to get 10% of that population, we would allocate some votes to you because none of you can do that," he said during the event. We welcome Asiwaju and the governors to Ebonyi State for the mother of all rallies. Your Excellency, you will see what an engineer can do when you come. We are not hiding to say that you are our candidate and you will take care of the southeast people, and all our votes will go to APC. There is no mistake about that. So the people of the southeast who have spoken, I am the chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, so I speak on their behalf. we know where it will be better for us in 2023, and that is the APC. After this rumbling, after keeping the youths out of school for complete good 8 months, that is the same APC. After billions of people have died all in the cause of insecurity in Nigeria because of the APC, the economy have gone below what is supposed to be because of the APC. Our exchange rate from 196 left by the previous administration of good luck to 800 and close to 900 because of the APC. Tell me, how can you people campaign under this late administration of Buhari, and you are still proud telling us that you are going to convince the whole Southeast to vote for APC? Chai, what man do man? This life no balance. So there is God. Oh, you know, there is God in everything we are doing. I love pray and hope that something bad will not reach your people, because this hand that you people are using for this campaign coming 2023 is gonna be something else, and I hope it will not affect the poor masses. My only concern and my only anger is when all these people are killing, they keep killing the poor, keep abducting the poor, collecting the little that they have, keep stopping the poor not to go to their farms. If this one now, if they have touched him once or twice in this insecurity time of the APC, I don't think he will have a mind to come out on the national TV to make all this rubbish statement that he's making here. They are campaigning for APC. Let me see where the APC will lead us to. We have given the APC time to do something for the country. They did not. The PDP have taken 16 years, a decade and a half, without not doing anything. Now the APC want to complete their own a decade and a half. Nigeria, which way forward? No way forward. I weep for Nigeria and I weep for the poor. I weep for my country, because what is happening in Nigeria is disheartening. It's not giving joy at all. Your only prayer is that the good Lord will intervene and let there be a restoration of Biafra, and all this nonsense will stop. And let me see where you people have a stand. You and the rest of your hooligans who are killing our youth all in the name of protecting APC and protecting Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So my great people of Biafra, the listeners and the lovers and the subscribers all over the world, please, this is where we are going to sign out from this hour's broadcast. And I come your way again. I say have a love on my stock. Please have a nice day. Share, comment, like, and subscribe. Until we meet again, I am signing out. Bye for now. Okay, Messiano.